Hi everyone. Hi all the attendees. I hope you all are safe, sound at home. I hope you all are having a good quarantine time and a lockdown period. I know this can be a little stressful time for all of us. It's something that we've never seen in our life, but I think this is also the time to sort of understand ourselves, to kind of reconnect with ourselves. So before I start talking about food stress management for gut and immunity, I want to quickly introduce myself. I'm Neha Ranglani. I'm an integrative nutritionist and a health coach and a plant-based food coach, and I help people reverse health issues like diabetes, PCOS, thyroid, and a lot of other issues like skin and hair issues, and basically anything that they are just not feeling good in their body through the root cause of the problem. Because many times we feel, we look at band-aid solutions like pills and supplements, and we look at quick fixes for our health, but we really don't understand that most of our health issues come from a root cause which we need to deal with if we really need to permanently get rid of it. And most of our health issues are sort of reversible and manageable if we take care of where it's coming from. I also make some healthy recipes. I'm also a food coach, so I'm just coming up very soon, coming up with my breakfast recipe book. And I think I just love my profession way too much because it helps me to make people health independent. It helps me to help people heal themselves. It's not me who does anything, it's they who heal themselves. So it's more about connecting with your own self, and I think that is a beautiful process once you start reconnecting with yourself and understanding your body and yourself much better. So today we are going to be talking about stress and food management for gut and immunity. Now, clearly, I mean, I think in March mid, when we were when this situation was thrown upon us, and we were all told to sort of lock ourselves up at home, keep social distancing, and all of that. I think that clearly played a role on our mental stability, because we are very social beings. I think human beings are really social beings. We love being around people, we love interacting, because that's the way human nature is all about. That's what. So I think once this happened, we all sort of got very fearful. We got very panicked about what's going to happen in the future, as to um, how we're going to work in the future, our financial stability, our work, our overheads. I think there was so much that was playing up in our mind, and we just didn't know that how we're going to deal with all of this. And uh, yes, it did lock us up, but it also gave us some, like, it gave us the best gift, which was time. Because all the time we kept saying, yeah, I wish we had little time to do this, wish we had little more time to sort of uh, you know spend time with our family, wish we had more time to read a lot more, wish we had time to sort of just sit and chill. And I think this is what the lockdown did for us. It did it in an extended way. Maybe we were not really ready for such an extended period of break and chill, but yes, it did give us that. So I think it's so important to use this time effectively. This pause button that has been hit in our life, I think it is for our good. There's a lot we can do to improve ourselves spiritually, mentally, physically. And our immunity is a very complex process. It's not about just taking a vitamin C pill, or just maybe eating certain foods and then your immunity is good. It's a whole play of your emotions, your activity, your stress management, your food, your lifestyle, how basically how well you digest every situation that comes around you, how well you accept things that are happening in your life. It is difficult initially to accept such situations, but I think by now we all have got really used to this, right? We all have understood how to deal with this and how to live this kind of a slow life. So we human beings, the best part is we adapt very nicely to things. So if you throw us into a situation, very soon and very quickly we will adapt to it, and we will start living it in our best way and our best potential. So coming to immunity, we'll talk about a couple of things which are important. So first things first, when we talk about immunity, we cannot not talk about gut, because 70% of our immunity comes from our gut. Our immune cells are literally made beneath our gut lining, beneath our intestinal lining. So it's so important for us to have a healthy gut. Many a times we face issues like constipation, acidity, bloating, and ulcers, and a lot of gut issues. And that generally affects our immune system, because it's actually interconnected. So The weaker the gut, the weaker the immune system. So you have to understand that if you have a gut issue, or if you have any issue that you're facing right now, you need to deal with it in a much, much productive way, and you need to deal with your gut health. Your gut is like a house of so many microorganisms, right? It's bacteria. We have like 3 pounds of bacteria in our gut, which actually is, they house our gut. They actually determine all the processes, our hormone development, our mood, neurotransmitters development, our weight management. So these bacteria play a very important role. Now, what these bacteria feed on actually depends on what you feed on. So the good bacteria generally feeds on the good food that we eat, like fruits, vegetable, nuts, seeds, whole grains, and the fiber that we give our body. And the bad bacteria feed on all the wrong foods that we eat, like processed food, a lot of dairy, milk and milk products, which have a lot of hormone these days. Also, a lot of gluten, that's wheat. So from morning to night, we keep on eating gluten, like we eat chapati, we eat bread, we eat biscuits, we eat, maida in some form or the other. And that affects our gut. Also, the refined oils, the excess amount of refined oils that we eat in our day-to-day life, like, we don't even realize that it takes about 1 cup to make 1 cup of peanuts to make 1 tablespoon of oil. So when we actually put oil in our food without thinking and mindlessly, we don't realize that we are just overdoing it, and our liver really gets taxed up, because to digest fat, our liver has to produce bile. And if our liver only keeps producing bile through the day, it cannot do the other processes of detoxification and elimination and all the nutrient formation and nutrient delivery that it has to do to the body. So it becomes like a problem for the liver to deal with your body, and then your liver gets sluggish, and then you can't digest your food. So it's like a vicious cycle. Okay. And then of course refined sugar, a lot of us eat a lot of refined sugar. So we unknowingly we eat so much sugar in our day-to-day life, thanks to all the processed foods that we consume. And every packet that you turn will have sugar in some form or the other, and you won't even know the name. So it can be refined. They don't write it as refined sugar, but there'll be glucose, there'll be dextrose, there'll be some name. There are some 50 names of different kinds of sugar that people use. So you need to be really careful about what you're actually ingesting, because if that is going to happen, it's going to become really difficult for your gut to do well. And if your gut doesn't do well, your immune cells cannot be healthy. And if your immune cells are not healthy, of course, any sort of virus, bacteria that get an entry into your body will get more powerful, stronger. So when you eat the wrong food, the virus and bacteria also feed on that wrong food. They feed on all the toxins we are exposed to, all the heavy metals. If you eat a lot of fish, the fish have mercury. If you put a lot of chemical products on your body, if you use a lot of sprays, if you use a lot of perfumes, air fresheners, all these add to a lot of toxins in our body, and that's what affects our immune system, because these viruses then get powerful, because they get the food to feed. These all go and sit in our liver, and our liver gets sluggish, and after a point our liver cannot do the detoxification process. So it's very important to look at immunity from a holistic approach, rather than just looking at it from a pill or a food form. So like I said, you need to up your good food intake so that your good bacteria goes up, and you need to lower your wrong food intake so that your bad bacteria don't really grow much, and all the processes in your body happen nicely. Also, a lot of us don't cleanse very well. We have when we have constipation, our body does not get rid of all the toxins and all the wrong things that we have absorbed into our system, and our body cannot throw that out because we are constipated. Inflammation is one of the biggest cause of constipation. So all the wrong foods and the bad bacteria cause a lot of inflammation in the gut. So hence it's so important to take care of our gut if we really, really need to up our immunity. The second thing that is extremely important is movement. Now, I'm not talking about, like, sitting in the gym. Anyways, we can't go to the gym, but, working out for 2 to 3 hours. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about literally moving your body. Now, moving your body, it's as simple as, doing your whole housework, especially now that we don't have help. We're doing a lot of sweeping, brooming, washing, cleaning. That all is movement, which is great. So instead of looking at it as a core and as like, oh my god, I have to do it, you can actually look at it as a workout. It's a great way to up your body's movement, circulation, because of which the immune system does really well. You need to throw the toxins out. So skin is another way, and sweating is one great way that your body throws toxins out from your system. So it's important that you actually do some form of activity. Also, just a quick HIIT workout, like maybe just like a quick CrossFit workout, HIIT, high intensity interval training, like a 20 to 30-minute one in a day. It's great to up your immunity and to move your blood in the body. The third very important thing is you need to sleep well. Now, if you're not sleeping well, say you're binge watching Netflix, you're watching a lot of series, movies, because now is the time and that's the only thing that you're doing, clearly your body will not detoxify. Because when you're sleeping in the night is when the liver, you really, can you clean your car in a running state? When your car is running on the road, can you clean your car? Not at all. Same way, your body cannot clean or detoxify when it's in a completely moving and active state, which is throughout the day. Only when we sleep in the night and in deep sleep is when our body picks up all the kachra, all the toxins that we've accumulated through the day, or the metabolism of our cells. So what we eat, our cells eat, and since I like we excrete, our cells also excrete. So all that kachra has to be collected. The liver has to detoxify, collect everything from the blood and throw it out into your gut so that it comes out from your urine and your feces in the morning. So the impure liquid is sent to the kidney to filter, the wrong toxins and all are sent to the gut to throw out from the feces. So what happens is when you don't sleep well, the body doesn't get a chance to detox. And if the body doesn't get a chance to detox, how do you think it's going to clear your gut? That those toxins then get reabsorbed extremely into your bloodstream, and when that toxins again get back into your bloodstream, your immune system will be affected. So you have to understand that it's important not only to eat well, to exercise, but to also sleep well. You need to sleep for good 7 to 9 hours every day. Give your body that rest that it needs so that it can do the cleaning process. And in the morning, that's why we all wake up to go to the washroom. We go and clean our face, clean our clean our body because we want to remove all the kachra that the body has accumulated through the night. So you got to keep that in mind, and sleep is important. So even if you have to miss your say your Netflix, or you need to reduce the time of watching television, then please do that, because sleep is non-negotiable. You cannot negotiate with your sleep. You cannot uh, you know uh, you cannot not give time to your sleep, because that is an important activity for the body. The fourth very important thing is that you need to manage your stress. Now, what happens is when we really get stressed up and we are really worked up, and especially now the situation is a little tense, we are worried that if we go out to buy groceries, we should not land up getting the virus. We also worried that we don't know what will happen in the future. We really don't know how will our work happen, how this whole work from home system is going to continue, because we really don't know when this all is going to end. But this negative emotion can um, really affect your gut, because your gut has this full it's an enteric nervous system. It has a whole bunch of nerves in your gut. You have this whole bunch of nerves which are doing so many things, and as you start stressing, your stress level starts going up, like your cortisol goes up, and your gut feels it. When you're really worried, when you're really upset, you feel a little contraction in your gut. That is the reaction your gut gives you when you're very very stressed out. So if you're negative, if you're very upset, if you're fearful, if you're angry all the time, just being angry also is a sign that your liver is very upset and your liver is not doing well. So you need to figure out how your nature is, and how maybe earlier you were a very happy person and suddenly now you realize I get very short tempered, I get angry very fast. That all is to do with your liver. Your liver is not getting a chance to throw out, and when your liver is upset, you'll get angry like this, you snap in a second. So it's so important to keep that in mind. And so, like I was talking about stress, when we are stressed out, like completely, stress is not only about having like a major task on your head. Just a small thing कि अभी ये काम खत्म करना है, या बच्चे की पढ़ाई खत्म करनी है, या just something that's working on your head. You're constantly worried and thinking about it. That can lead to stress, pressures, deadlines. Things like arguments, fights, disagreements with people, also not being able to say no to people, just pleasing people and saying yes all the time just because you feel you'll be misunderstood. These all are things that you probably they're just adding on to your life, they're adding on to your stress, and these are like subtle stressors. Like if there's a lion in front of you, of course that's a big stress. You need to run away, you need to sort of either fight or flight. That is a definite stress. But these छोटे stress that we take in a day-to-day life, these do more damage because they're constantly there. They're constantly there in our life, and one after the other, something or the other keeps coming up. So if you stress out on small things, your cortisol levels are always high, and when the cortisol levels are always high, your digestive system shuts, your immunity shuts, your liver detoxification shuts. All that your body does is releases glucose from the muscles and livers all the time so that you can fight the stressful situation. Now the body doesn't know that it's a mental stress or a physical stress or emotional stress. For body, stress is stress. So when you stress out, the body has to produce cortisol as a reaction to up your blood sugar levels. So very bad for diabetics, very bad for people who are wanting to lose weight, very bad for people who have a poor immunity, because if your blood sugar levels are always high, your immunity will be compromised. So it's so important to balance stress. Now, I'm not saying you cannot take stress because we all are surrounded by it, and that's the modern way of living. That's just the way we are evolving to live with. But it's important that you learn to manage it well. How do you manage it well? First of all, by being aware that yes, I am stressed. So what should I do? Couple of things that you can instantly do for your stress is breathing. So when you breathe, our breath is our best friend. So when you breathe well, when you sort of relax and you inhale oxygen, you shift from flight and fight mode to rest and digest mode. That means your body realizes, okay, everything is safe, the environment looks secure, so I don't need to raise the cortisol level. Okay, so that's when you breathe, you bring your body back into a zone of safety. You make your body realize that, wow, everything around me is absolutely fine and normal. Okay, so breathe well, do pranayams, do anulom vilom, the alternate nostril breathing, do deep belly breathing. Even if you're working in the kitchen or you're working on a laptop, or when you're talking, or when you're just doing something, get your focus back on deep belly breathing. So, breathing through your nose into your belly and your chest, like expanding your chest and belly, and with every exhale, contracting that. So, this deep belly breathing always keeps you in a state of uh, awareness, mindfulness, and in a state of safety, which our body really needs to be if we need to strengthen our immune system. So yes, what I was just talking about, stress management. So that is one thing. Second is yoga. So if you're somebody who's constantly stressed, so say you're working from home right now and you have a lot of work pressures and deadlines, because suddenly the whole culture of working has changed and you just can't absorb and digest the whole thing, and you're getting really worked up, I would suggest don't do an intense workout. What you can do is do yoga. Get on your mat and do some stretching. When we are really stressed, all our muscles in our body get shrinked and contracted, but yoga helps to open it. So when you're doing a back bend, or when you're doing like a surya namaskar, or even some stretches, or just some yoga poses which you know and which you can do, you actually open up your body and you inhale a lot of oxygen, because yoga is all about inhale and exhale along with the asanas. So I would suggest at least twice or thrice a week, incorporate some sort of yoga in your regime, and maybe then 2 days, 3 days, you could do some nice quick workout which energizes you as well. What else you can do? Meditation. Now, there is really nothing that can replace meditation. Meditation is the most beautiful thing you can do for your mind and your body. Like literally, it helps you join that connection with yourself which you've lost. So just sitting by yourself and breathing and focusing maybe on your center of your forehead, on the tip of the nose, or listening to guided meditations where they literally help you how to breathe and take you to another world. Like if you listen to a waterfall meditation, they'll take you to a water, they'll make you imagine a waterfall, and your feet in the ocean and things like that. It's not necessary you need to be in that place. Even imagining that whole scenario gives your body a lot of healing advantages. So you can do those kind of meditations. You can do yoga nidra in the night. So if you have sleeping issues, if you really feel you can't slip into sleep, and you feel like, oh my god, my mind is constantly working, I'm constantly thinking, when you slip into your sleep, with yoga nidra, you sleep very deep. So what is yoga nidra? You can check out on YouTube. There are amazing videos. It helps you scan through the body, and it helps you, just the music and the way they talk just gets you into sleeping mode, and it relaxes your body, and this helps you heal through the night. So that's extremely important. So you need to either do breathing, yoga, or meditation to deal with your stress. Keep 1 minute alarms every 1 hour, and in that 1 minute you can actually bend down. So on my Instagram, I have an Instagram page by the name of Neha Ranglani _. I put up a lot of informative videos out there. You can follow me there, and There, I've just put up a video of that 1 minute break and what all can you do in 1 minute to get yourself back. So you can watch that. And I also have a YouTube channel by the name of Neha Ranglani, which you can subscribe, and I put up videos there as well. So when you do these things, you're more in control of yourself. You're more in control of your your emotions. So if there could be a stressful situation, but when you breathe and you remember that, yeah, my breath is my best friend, you'll take decisions better. You'll not let the stress damage your body. So that is very important. Next, I'm just going to talk about few tips and few things that you can include in your diet before I get on to the questions. That will help you up your immunity. So do herbs like ginger, lemon, tulsi, a holy tulsi, aloe vera, pudina. These are great. Then you can do soft, jeera, ajwain, cinnamon, methi seeds, elaichi. Boil all of this, and you can put some lemongrass in this and a little jaggery and methi seeds. Boil all of this and have a nice, concoction, and have a nice tea which will soothe your immune system, which will energize and soothe your immune system at the same time. So that is important. Then you can actually include certain supplements which are good for immunity, which is vitamin C. You should do omega 3. Zinc is great for immune system, so you could do like a zinc, a B complex. I cannot talk less, and I cannot get enough of the importance of vitamin D. Now, your sunlight, sitting in the morning between 9 to 11, any time that you can get good sunlight onto your skin, wear minimal clothes, sit in the sun, don't use your sunscreen, don't use any lotions. And just after your sunbathing, sit for 20 minutes and absorb that sun. And you can do meditation while sitting in the sun. So that will help you to really get a lot of energy. And don't wash or have a bath immediately after sunbathing, because when the sun has really, I mean, and don't use soap. I mean, you can wash yourself, you can have bath with water, but don't use soap. What happens is when you're doing sunbathing and you're you're going for a bath, the vitamin which has got into it, like the sun rays which have got under your skin, and the skin has just started developing the vitamin D, it will take about 24 to 48 hours for its for generation. So if you start using soap, that really adds toxins into your skin, and that washes off the effect of the sun. So it's better to sit in the sun and then just have a nice water bath, or use something that's really natural, on your skin. Don't use like these chemicalized soaps. So that's about sunlight, because vitamin D is very important for immunity. Every cell of your body needs vitamin D. So if you're not getting enough vitamin D, you will actually have a very, very poor immune system. And if you're somebody who just does not get um, does not get enough sunlight in the balcony, or if you don't have an access to terrace, then take a good vitamin D supplement, because you need vitamin D. Another thing very important is B12. So as a supplement, you can take B12 if you're a vegetarian, or if you have like gut issues, B12 absorption gets affected. So do like a good B12 supplement. And just a very quick tip, you need to keep yourself happy. So don't get too worked up. Pick up a hobby thing, pick up something that you really enjoy. To give 1 hour to yourself in the day where you're actually connecting with yourself and doing things that you really enjoy, doing things that you love, doing things that your soul literally feels happy with from the within, and tells you like, okay, wow, I did something for myself. It not necessarily is work or something for the family, or something for something that as a duty, something that you enjoy. You need to give yourself that time that you for your soul to get to rejuvenate. So it could be dance, it could be like a creative form of art, it could be just gardening, it could be just connecting with someone who you love, just whatever your soul tells you that I enjoy. Me time is very important, and self care is not selfish. So self care is extremely important if you need to be loving and you need to be a happy person with people around you. So these were just very few quick tips. If I have covered almost everything for you all to get you get started with building your immunity. And very quickly, I'm going to take questions. So if you have any, you can put them in the chat. And okay. Rasi Neni Supreet. Thank you for the compliment. Uh, okay, so Biluru is asking me, what if I sleep in the morning and wake up till late in the night? Now you know what happens. Our body works as per the sun and moon cycle. So if you are literally sleeping in the morning and waking up in the night, you're going against the sun and moon cycle. We are meant to wake up with the sun and sleep with the moon. So If you wake up with the sun, that's when your cortisol levels start rising for the day, and in the night your cortisol levels start coming down. But when you do the ulta, your body literally gets confused. Your liver's detoxification does not happen the way it should happen. So unless and until you have a job and you have a night shift and you got to do it, then I wouldn't stop you, because I understand work is important. But if you're doing it out of fun, or if you're doing it out of like you just want to watch or binge watch television and then just sleep late, then I would suggest please watch television in the day and do not do that in the night, because you're literally going to ruin your circadian rhythm, and that's going to really affect your health in a lot of ways. So yeah. Okay, Jagrati is asking, will this be available later? Yes, I think Thrive is going to save it on YouTube and on the recording. So yeah, I think they're going to be saving it. I want my kids to watch this. They're owls whole night awake. Oh, how sweet. I think you should educate them about this. Kavita is asking, what if a person sleeps after 5 in the morning? So I think I answered that question. Like, you got to sleep with the sun. 5 in the morning is almost time for sunrise. In like a couple of hours, your sun is going to rise. And if you're sleeping at that time, you're not going to get that deep sleep. Your REM sleep happens in the night. The best time to sleep is between 9 to 11. Like, I think, or maybe 10 to 12. But if you're sleeping anything later than that, which is okay, we all sleep sometimes at 1, but that's still okay. 5 is almost morning. So I would suggest don't do that. It's so important to sleep on time. Do whatever fun stuff you want during the day, but don't compromise on the sleep. What's the best time? Oh, I just answered that. What's the best time for sleep at night? Sudeshna asked. So that was answered in this question. Dr. Rajni Tripathi, according to research, if we wake till late, your mind is more active than wake up early morning. So my question is that does our body react same if we sleep 7 to 9 hours in the morning? Is it good? I just told you that, right, Dr. Rajni, that the body is meant to sleep with the moon. Like when the moon rises, the whole idea, the whole way the nature was created was to darken the atmosphere outside so that we can produce melatonin. Like ages, like our ancestors and centuries back, our ancestors did not have lights. These LED lights and the artificial lights that we are surrounded by, these blue lights of computer, television, phone that we are surrounded by, they cut our melatonin production, which is actually the sleep hormone. So what happens is when the sun sets and the moon rises, it's only the moonlight that you're living with, and that moonlight is very soothing, which does not affect your melatonin production. So it really helps you, it calms you. So moon is very calming and sun is heating. So moon calms your energies and puts you to sleep. So if you understand the way nature is made and we start going against it, our body will clearly have to really juggle to deal with the entire shift in the routine, as because it wants us to do what the nature wants us to do. So I think it's important that you sleep in the night. The night sleep is more calm and deeper. Afternoon sleep might not be, and you have to make the room really dark. You have to make sure there's no noise in the house and all of that. So it's not about the hours, it's about the time. It's about moving with the sun and moon cycle. Yeah. So, okay, we have Harshit asking how to deal with irregular bowel movement and constipation, and IBS and constipation. So, what happens, Raghav? Constipation is an outcome of inflammation. So, when you're eating a lot of inflammatory foods, or you're taking a lot of stress, or you're not sleeping well, the body is in a very inflammatory state. What is inflammation? It's as simple. When you get a cut on your hand, you'll bleed, you'll bruise, and this part will become red and swollen. And all the white blood cells will come here to protect that part, to make sure that no bacteria invades it and stuff. What happens internally, there's something called as low grade inflammation. Now that keeps happening constantly when you are sort of eating the wrong food, a lot of toxins in your body, a lot of virus, bacterial pathogen load in your system, or maybe you're just not sleeping well, your body is not detoxified well. There'll be a constant state of inflammation in your body, where your body is releasing the cytokines, which are the substances released by the immune cells to kill these toxins and all of that, which is great. We do need that. But if it happens over a period of time, these cytokines go and affect our organs and they damage our cells. And our cells get very fearful, they shut down and they don't open up to take the nourishment inside and the nutrients inside. That's why we are eating, but we are not nourished. So it's very important that you need to deal with your inflammation. The foods I spoke about earlier, that will help you to lower inflammation. Once your inflammation gets better, your gut bacteria gets better, the whole movement of your large intestine, of your the peristalsis that need to happen of your large intestine will start happening. So there's no one quick fix. Of course, you have to hydrate yourself well. You need to drink water. You need to drink lemon water, coconut water, no tea, coffee, avoid tea, coffee, avoid cola, sodas. These are very inflammatory and they will literally shut your gut. So don't do all of that. Lakshmi is asking how to improve metabolism. Metabolism is what? Your cells are constantly in a state of metabolism. What is metabolism? The cells are opening up, they are taking the nourishment, they are using it, and they are throwing their toxins out. Now, the speed at which they do that depends upon, again, the inflammation. It depends on the food you're eating. It depends on how you're sleeping. It depends on how much stress you're taking. So your cells will, like I said, they get fearful and they really don't work well if there's not a safe atmosphere in your body. But if there is a safe atmosphere in your body and the environment is good, the body will have a great metabolism. So work out, be active. But even if you're not well fed and you have a lot of toxins in the body, if you're very stressed out, then over exercising or exercising can also damage you. So if you don't have enough vitamin D, B12, you might have an injury. If you don't have enough magnesium, or you're taking a lot of stress and your magnesium is low, you'll have a lot of muscle injuries. So you need to be very careful. So metabolism is a very vague term. What I would suggest is work on your inflammation, work on your sleep and all of that will come in control. Bindu Sharma is asking how to control psoriasis. Now, anything on the skin, Bindu, is a reflection of your internal health. So, if you have psoriasis, if you have that kind of an allergy or that kind of a skin issue, you need to make sure that your blood is clean. A lot of toxic blood, a lot of toxins in the body. A very acidic blood can cause all of that on the skin. So you need to make sure that you're eating anti-inflammatory foods, you are hydrating your body well, your gut is healthy, you're making sure that you're living a very mindful and aware life. And when you do all of that, you'll start seeing once your blood starts cleaning up, the psoriasis will be gone. So avoid dairy and wheat. That's just the first quick tip I can give you, is just remove dairy and wheat from your diet and see how you do. Okay. Angel K is asking, I really get insecure and frustrated by financial conditions nowadays, much worried and feeling anxiety too. Yes, Angel, your name is Angel. You should not be feeling and you should not be worrying, darling. The point is, we feel worried, we feel anxious when either, what happens? Depression is a part of the past and anxiety is because of the future. The minute you realize that the only thing that exists is the present moment, is now, right now, like right now I'm talking to you and that's the only thing that exists. If you realize that, you will not get into anxiety. We get anxiety and we get anxious because we don't know what's going to happen in the future. We cannot control the future. We don't know. It's a fear of the unknown, the unseen, the uncertain. So when we are so fearful about that, that's when we start getting anxiety. We start panicking because it's not in our control, and we want to bring it in our control. We want the right thing to happen to us, but it may not, or it may, but we are not sure whether it will or not. So it's important that you really be in the present moment, focus on breathing, focus on meditation, and understand, count your blessings, be grateful, because what you have, your food in your plate, you have shelter on your head, you have an internet where you can connect with your friends. I don't think we need more than that right now, just right now, to survive and support ourselves. So the minute we start counting our blessings and the minute we realize that we have enough for this moment to live a safe and secure life, like right now, I think you will not get anxious. And of course, breathing, meditation, and eating the right foods will help you. And inflammation can also lead to depression and mental issues. So try to lower your inflammation. Thank you, Vijay. Thank you. Um, I want to know about the chakra meditation. That's one chakra. Chakra meditation is beautiful. We have 7 different chakras in our body, where from the root chakra, that's the anal chakra, right to our head, we have 7 different chakras. And what happens is we store a lot of emotions in these chakras. So, if we have a lot of hatred and grudge, our heart chakra gets affected. If we have a lot of secrets, or we cannot speak out too much, our throat chakra gets affected. If you take in a lot of pressure, if you just feel life is so burdensome, your sacral chakra gets affected. So it's different chakras have different reasonings. So it's important that you can pick up a very good chakra healing meditation from YouTube and start doing that, where they actually help you focus on every different chakra of your body, and they make you imagine a light for that of a different color for that chakra, and they help you balance that. So once your chakras are aligned and balanced, you won't feel any stress, anxiety. You also, every situation seems manageable. So yeah, you can do that. Hi, Deepika. Um, 1 second, I missed on some questions. Quickly, I'll go up. Okay. How much do we have to wait after sunbathing? So you can wait for half an hour, but you can have bath with water, but avoid using chemicalized soaps immediately. So maybe you could use soaps little later in the day, but after sunbathing, try just washing yourself with water. How to build immunity to avoid asthma and allergy. Again, allergy. You don't know what you're eating. Maybe you're eating something wrong. And I always say it's not what you eat sometimes. It's what you eat all the time. So if you're constantly eating dairy, wheat, and oils and sugar in your diet, you need to remove these foods. You need to replace them with healthier options. And asthma and allergy is all to do with your immunity and your inflammation. So I think once you start focusing on whatever I've mentioned, you'll start seeing a change. Rajiv, you need to lose fat, Rajiv. Now, the reason why you've gained fat is different. So, like I told you, you can connect with me personally on Instagram, Neha Ranglani. Also, my website is there, Neha. I'll type it here so you guys know. It's neharanglani.com. You guys can connect with me. I'll just write my Instagram page as well. So, you can watch videos which may help you. Yeah. So, if you need to connect with me, I can help you out with weight loss, because weight loss also has a root cause, and for everyone it's different. It's not as simple as following a form of diet, doing this diet, doing that diet. No, you're damaging your body. You need to understand why you've gained that weight first. Okay, I'm into bodybuilding. My weight is 70. What are the macro requirements to build muscle? How many grams protein do I how many grams protein? Sorry, I just missed that. All right, there are too many questions which I missed out. Okay, how many grams protein are there in 100-gram chicken breast and one full egg? So I think 100-gram has about 26 or 30-gram protein, and one full egg has about 6. But you need to figure out what your goal is. What are the macro requirements to build muscle? It's different for different people. You're 70 grams, but you're 70 kgs, but I need to see your lifestyle as well. So I don't give numbers here because I really need to see the person before I comment on that. Any good vegan source for B12? Sadly, no. B12 is majorly absorbed by the intrinsic factor in our stomach, and when we have stomach issues, it will be very difficult to absorb that B12. So I think taking a good supplement is always a safer thing. Rajiv, you need a good diet chart. You need to connect with me. What foods and snacks to eat for Vata and Pitta dosh? So I'm not too much into Ayurveda, but I know when there's an imbalance in the Vata and Pitta, there are certain foods which you can, I think, ask an Ayurvedic expert. But I'm not too much into Ayurveda, so I may not be able to answer that. Food to avoid if you feel sluggish. Hmm. You need to see what foods you're eating most common. Like I said, it's all about what you eat all the time and not sometimes. So you can eat sometimes a piece of cake and that won't harm you. But if you're constantly having a lot of uh, foods like your dairy, your wheat, you're doing a lot of sugar, you're eating a lot of processed foods, then you need to take that off. Don't we obtain all nutrients from food, or we still need the supplements, and especially in this lockdown when the movement has gone on badly? See, what happens is you do of course get nutrients from food, but if you're stressed out or if you have a lot of gut issues, then you might not be able to absorb. So you have to see really what you're deficient in, and in what you're deficient in and what your body really needs at that time. So yeah. How much do we have to wait after sunbathing? I think okay. You have L5S1 disc herniation almost recovered, but now due to lockdown, the whole day I'm lying on the bed and getting pain. Yeah, you need to have your little movement. Trust me, do yoga. If you have any good yoga teacher who can teach you online, it would be great. Check with your physiotherapist. Keep that body moving, because otherwise it's going to be really, really difficult to, get it healed once all of this comes back to normal. So you have itchy skin and on the face and rashes come on their own. There's some sort of food which is not helping you. You need to find that out. I've answered psoriasis. Okay. Are probiotic drinks healthy and useful for the gut? The ones that you get in the market, I don't like them. You can make your own kanji at home with carrot and beetroot. There's a recipe online available. You can make that. That will help you. That has a lot of probiotics. And if you eat a good fiber-rich diet, you have food for the good bacteria in your gut to grow. So I think that anyways helps. I think you should get your vitamin D levels checked because someone's asking me, do we get a vitamin D level checked, or we can just get it from, or we can take it if we are not getting enough sunlight? Are there any side effects of vitamin D supplement? Now it really depends which one you're taking. If you're getting enough sunlight and you feel energetic, and if you test your levels, you don't need the supplement. But if you're not getting enough, and your levels are constantly low, and then I think you need to check with your doctor or nutritionist which supplement you should take. Can you suggest why doing workout or yoga sometimes feel completely exhausted with muscles weakness and tiredness and adrenal fatigue? What can be done for that? What happens when you are anyway stressed out and you're not calm and you're not relaxed, and you're not well nourished, so your muscles don't have enough vitamin D, B12. You're deficient. You will get super exhausted after a workout. You'll not feel energetic. Basically, a workout is supposed to make you feel energetic, but if you're just extremely deficient in yourself within, and or you're very stressed out, and your adrenal glands are tired of dealing with the excess cortisol and they have to constantly produce cortisol, then you'll feel a burnout. That's the reason why a restorative workout works very well. So doing like a yoga, doing like maybe some sort of pilates, or just movement and stretching, dance, that can just rejuvenate you. How effective is infused water? It's great. I mean, if you put in some lemons and herbs in it, why not? It's amazing. Ma'am, so Akash is asking, ma'am, I feel de-energized and weak through the day. How can I overcome it naturally? Age 32. You need to see what you're eating, Akash. You need to see why the low energy levels, because our body is meant to feel energetic. But why the low energy levels? Is it stress? Is it food? Is it the wrong food? Is it no absorption and assimilation of the nutrients in your gut? There are a lot of reasons. So I've just told you a couple of them, but you can connect with me further if you need to know better. Okay. What is a good food for gut health in both veg and non-veg category? How should we balance a diet with veg and non-veg diet? So, when we talk about non-veg, it's a little harsh on the gut because our liver has to do, any non-veg food comes along with a lot of fat. Even if you like deskin the chicken breast and all, it will still have fat within. So it puts a load on the liver. There's a lot of HCl and hydrochloric acid that our liver has to help our stomach with, and to produce the stomach cells have to produce that HCl. So it is a little taxing. But when we talk about vegetarian foods, all your plant-based foods are great. Try avoiding dairy because that can cause a problem with the kind of dairy we are getting today. And if you have to have a balance with veg and non-veg, eat lots of plants, lots of greens, lots of fruits, nuts, seeds, and do small portions of non-veg if you really like it. Dr. Rajni, I think we spoke about the right hours of sleeping at about anything between 10 to 12 till up till 7 or 9 in the morning, whatever time you're sleeping accordingly. You eat two. I eat two chapatis with lots of sabzi in the morning, and dinner and rice with dal and lunch, and fruits in between. Is it a good? This is not the way I can answer whether it's a good diet or not. I need to see you and understand you for that, darling. Piali is asking, I listen to guided meditation every day, and now I can't sleep. I can't sleep without guided meditation. Is it bad? See, yeah, also one thing happens when you get used to this, it becomes like an addiction. You need to understand that this is just a way to calm you and help you to get into sleep. It's not bad. I mean, if you have to listen to a guided meditation and sleep, it's absolutely okay. But give it a break sometime. Try to get your own self to sleep as well, because there would be times you would not have this at your dispense, and then what? Are you not going to sleep? Then this is very important. So why low vitamin D hinders weight loss? Your vitamin D is not only a vitamin, it's also a hormone. It's a hormone which produces cholesterol. It's a hormone which produces all your sex hormones. So, and our hormones have a very intricate role to play in our weight loss. So if your vitamin D is low, your hormones will be affected, your mood will be affected, your stress levels will be highest, because you're not able to deal with the hormonal imbalances and all. So there's a lot of interplay that happens when your vitamin D goes low. And your vitamin D, like I said, it's not only a vitamin, it's a hormone. So every cell of your body needs it, because hormones is something that sends messages to your cell as to what needs to be done. So if your vitamin D is low, how will your cell get a message? Hmm. Okay. I too, Chapati, I mentioned that. Can you suggest a good brand for vitamin C and zinc supplement as well as for kids? So, there are brands like Unived. I mean, of course, not all brands have everything, but Unived has a good, has good supplements. Then there's Pure Nutrition, there's Setu. These are the brands which I really believe in. But you can definitely check with your doctor, nutritionist, or counselor, whoever you feel is guiding you at this time. Mm. I feel hungry all the time and I do not get satiation, especially evening to night. I need heavy foods at night. That's probably because you're not nourishing your body well in the morning. Maybe your body is not cleansing, so all the toxins get reabsorbed. And when there's a lot of toxic load, you will crave. Basically, craving means your body, your cells need nourishment. Now, what if your body is craving for sugar? It needs energy. If it's craving for salt, it needs minerals. If it's craving for chocolate, it needs magnesium. So you need to figure out that what your body is trying to crave, and what is it that why is it that you want to eat heavy foods in the night. So I mean, you could take help from someone and shift the way you're eating, and let someone coach you and guide you, and I think then you'll get better, because clearly that's not the right way. Yes, you can have green tea. Someone's asking, can I have green tea? Yes. Uh okay. After menopause, I have Jagrati is asking. After menopause, I have lots of problem, acidity problem, very dry hair, headache. So see, menopause actually is a time to chill, relax, because you're done with all your responsibilities and your hormones have literally come to a very flat level, so that you can live a very relaxed and calm life. Now, your menopause health is determined by what you did earlier and how you lived your life entirely, because when your follicles, when your reproductive system is not well nourished, you'll get all those symptoms which are not pleasant. So again, we'll have to look at this in a much deeper level. All right, I think guys, this was a good session. We'll take a break here, and you guys can connect with me on Thrive or on my personal Instagram page, and we can chat up if you have any issues. Thank you so much. This was really fun. This was really interactive, and I think I am hoping all this will really help you, and just take good care of yourself, and let this quarantine period be the period where you emerge from this brighter, stronger, healthier, wiser, and more connected with your own self, which will help you in your future days and in your lifetime. So take care of yourself, and I'll see you soon.